And welcome to the CraveCast. It is May 20th, 2014. I am Eric Mack in Taos, New Mexico, Crave contributor, and I'm joined by Michael Franco, who is calling in from North Carolina. And I believe there in the studio in San Francisco, we've got Stephen Beecham, Bonnie Burton, and Kelsey Adams. You guys all there?
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
All right, excellent. So we're running this for the first time out of the big studioplex there, so it's kind of cool to see all that in effect. And Michael's got the blue door rocking there as well. So glad we could all be here. We're coming up on Memorial Day weekend and the traditional beginning of summer, which means we are not too far off from Comic-Con and a whole bunch of Hollywood blockbusters and the great summer geekiness that we always expect when the temperature's warm a bit. So what we did here is we've picked about 9 or 10 of the upcoming summer geeky blockbusters that we're most anticipating. Some we might not be completely anticipating. We're going to go around and talk about them really quick. If you guys want to get in on the conversation, go ahead and tweet a question or a comment to @Crave, and we'll be monitoring those, and we can get your questions and comments on the air here as they come in. So real quick preview, we're going to be talking about, in rough order of release, Godzilla, X-Men, Days of Future Past, Maleficent, Transformers, Age of Extinction, The Signal, Guardians of the Galaxy, Edge of Tomorrow, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Lucy, and maybe a little Batman bonus at the end if we have time. So that's what we're working on here. So first up, Godzilla. This is the only one of these movies that's out right now. It came out last week on Friday and did insane, like, buku yen and dollars all over the place, and they've already announced for sure that they're going to be doing a sequel to this coming up, which I do not think is any surprise, and I won't tell you why because that would spoil it. But let's go ahead and go around. What do you guys think? Start with Bonnie Burton and Kelsey and Steven there in the studio. You guys going to see this? Are you excited for it? What do you think?
I'm a huge Godzilla fan, but I've heard so many mixed reviews about this Godzilla that it's like.
Move your microphone.
Oh, okay. It's like 90% relationship issues with humans that no one cares about, and 10% monsters. So that's a problem with a lot of monster movies. I find that but I don't know. I'll go see it because I love Godzilla anything. I mean, I watch the Godzilla cartoon, so I eat Godzilla cereal. I'll do anything with Godzilla in it. Godzilla showed up on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I would watch that show. So.
Sure he hasn't?
Especially if he ruins all of their homes, I would watch that. So I'll watch that. I don't really care if it's crap or not. So if anything, I'll just pretend it's a Breaking Bad sequel.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston is the star, which is one of the few things I think I'm actually excited about. What do you think, Kelsey?
Well, what I wanted to say was actually in response to something that I think Michael Franco is going to bring up or not, because Michael Franco wrote an article about this, about Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, he did an interview with Time Magazine where he said that what drew him to doing this. I mean, it's his first big picture after after Breaking Bad, and he said that what drew him to doing this was the fact that Godzilla is so boy. He basically said Godzilla makes no apologies and just goes around crushing stuff, and that's very boy, and that's why he liked him as a kid, and that's what drew him to do this picture now. And I actually did see it this weekend, and I'd say it's more like 50-50 monsters to humans. And I thought it was pretty good. I may even go see it again.
Nice.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
So what drew you in? The human story or just the pure destruction?
Definitely not the human story. If anything, I think the acting was a little bit light, but the way the destruction is handled, there's moments where it's like things go silent and there's kind of this moody atmospheric background. I think it was handled really, really artfully instead of just, this big crush and destroy kind of movie. It was handled in a really artful way.
I heard that there's a lot more new monsters too, actually. Isn't there I heard that Godzilla was just a small portion. There's a lot of other new monsters in it.
Well, this would be a spoiler alert if I say, but
Earmuffs.
Yeah.
Earmuffs. Everybody earmuff it.
there's really only 2 other monsters that show up.
Dope.
Cool.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
No.
there's a very low spoiler threshold on this one. I think to even reveal kind of the role that Godzilla plays is a spoiler, right, Michael?
You Ask that again?
Stumped.
Can I just interrupt at this point and completely derail the conversation? So Michael, when you posted that thing about Bryan Cranston saying Godzilla is so boy, I was kind of annoyed and I couldn't really articulate why. And then a couple hours later, Bonnie retweeted this very cute cartoon on Twitter. This one, yeah.
Aw.
The artist is Panda Porch, by the way. She's great. And that little kid reads like a girl to me, and I was just like,
Oh yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah, that's a girl.
That's what I'm seeing, you know,
Yeah.
because wanting to be outrageous, wanting to stomp around and be obnoxious and rude and destructive and rampage, like in that old video game that I used to love, where you
love
destroy a
that
city.
game.
Right?
So fun.
Yeah. So that's not a boy thing, that's a human thing, and they tell us it's a boy thing, but actually Godzilla is for everyone.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. That's one of those things that that's with all geek culture. I think we're at a point now that we don't have to do the fake geek girl discussion anymore. Or at least I hope not. But little girls
Not here,
like
anyway.
monster movies, little girls like Star Wars, little girls like Star Trek, little girls like Godzilla. We don't have to keep saying this is guys only.
Yeah. In fact, the director in that article I wrote kind of gave a more universal sense about why we like Godzilla so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Kind of talked about, the monster's always coming, that nature is always coming. And
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's, probably more
Well, the funny thing,
universal reason why people like Godzilla.
the funny thing too, is if you watch all the original Godzilla films, there's usually a little girl in all of them. And then if you watch the more modern day ones, there's always a fighter pilot that's a girl. So there are women in these, well, maybe not our movies, but the original Godzilla movies that are from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. They all have female characters that are pretty strong female characters. So especially little girls. And I mean, if you are a fan of Mothra, you know that there's twin girls that are kind of Mothra's keeper. So know
There is a
your
girl monster in
Godzilla.
this one.
What?
There is a girl monster in this one. I can
Okay,
say
good,
that.
good.
Spoilers.
How can
All right.
how can you tell? I feel like please don't tell me
Hey, it matters to them.
please don't tell me there's a bra on one of them because I would be really upset if that's how you tell if a Godzilla
She's
creature
wearing
is
a pink
female.
bow. She's wearing a
No, there is a physical feature that
Okay.
pulls them apart, but I won't say what it is.
Because remember when Transformers did that? Wasn't there a female Transformers and was she pink? I can't remember.
No Monster Anatomy
Google it.
spoilers.
I just
Google
remember there
it.
was all that
Google it.
controversy about whether it made sense to have a female transformer.
Anyway, sorry. But
So
that's a good
Michael's
segue.
gonna-
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Michael's
Yeah.
gonna. So Michael might see it twice. I think I will.
There you
probably
go.
see it. What about Bonnie and Kelsey and Steven? You guys gonna see this one, or wait for Netflix, or what?
What, Godzilla?
Godzilla, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't like disaster movies, to be honest, but that in no way invalidates my point.
I want to go, but it doesn't cost like $100 for IMAX now. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like
Is it like $20 for popcorn, $30 for soda? If I can kickstart it, I'll go.
Well, the next movie on our list is one that I know I would definitely spend $30 on popcorn for this one, and that's X-Men: Days of Future Past, which is, I mean, this is when it comes to the movies we're looking at, this is kind of the all-star team of the summer. I think you got Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen. I mean, I'm sold at that point before you even bring in Hugh Jackman and everyone else. So it's got time travel in it. It's got some more origin stories, particularly Professor X. I think I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Is this on your list? It's definitely on mine.
So excited.
Yeah, it feels like X-Men Boogie Nights. I mean, I know it's not about the same thing Boogie Nights was, but anytime I see something with the 70s or 60s, anything set in the past, what is this timeline? Is it 60s or 70s?
70s.
70s. Yeah, it's just
First class was 60s, I think.
I think it's the lapels and the long hair. I'm excited for this. I think there's going to be good witty banter. I think that's the good thing with X-Men is even though it can be depressing and heavy at times, there's always that possibility for jokes, and especially with Wolverine
Right.
involved. But I'm excited for the cast and I'm excited for the story. We'll see.
All the Marvel movies have done a really good job of drawing that a great casts, and especially with the one we'll talk about later with Guardians of the Galaxy. Also great cast, also a lot of witty banter. There must be something. I don't know if there's something with the Marvel team or what, but I agree completely.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for that. Like I think it's gonna be fun. I don't know. We'll see. It's funny because it's great to see all these comic book based movies coming out all at once. So
I'm really looking forward to X-Men because, I mean, I've always loved the series, and partly for me, and I think for most people, probably one of the big things about the X-Men story, the way it's been shown, is that it's kind of saying everyone can be special. Like all the weird kids are actually special. You know, you feel too odd, you feel too smart, whatever. Professor X has a home for you. You know, whereas in the Marvel movies and the S.H.I.E.L.D. show that I've been watching and been loving, but there's definitely been this undercurrent that only a few people are really the heroes and anyone else is just dangerous. You know, like you think you're special, but you're wrong. You're deluded. You need to be taken down. Yeah. And so it's really nice for me to get back to here and be like, hey, everyone in this preview is flying around. You know, everyone's jumping around. They've all got costumes. This is going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Michael, what do you think? Is that unanimous? Do you agree, Michael?
I do. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I'm definitely going to see the movie just because of the, you know, what it's about. And, you know, I think it's going to be a spectacle. But I'm not looking forward to it as much as other X-Men movies because time travel movies kind of freak me out. I think I'm too literal. And I'm like, well, if that happened, then that couldn't have happened. And, you know, so.
You can't do that.
That'll hurt.
You can't do that. I'm well trained in ignoring that because of Doctor Who.
Mystery Science Theater. Yeah, just relax.
Yeah, mystery. Oh, that's a great reference. Yeah, Mystery Science Theater is sci-fi. Just don't pay attention too much. It's so funny. I remember getting into really heavy arguments with my college buddies about The Simpsons about stuff, and then we had to stop for a minute and go, "Oh, wait a minute, it's a cartoon. It's not real. It's a cartoon. You're not really supposed to care that they don't age ever. No. It's just, you know." Yeah.
If you're going to go along with the steel endoskeleton, you got to go along with the time travel too.
Adamantium.
That's true. Right. That's true.
All right, so I think we're unanimous on X-Men there. The next one on our list, I'm not quite so sure about. That's Maleficent. This is coming out May 30th, and it's kind of Disney's creepy take on Sleeping Beauty. And this is also an origin story. It's actually the origin story of Maleficent, who's that mean, evil stepmother in the Sleeping Beauty tale. It's kind of like, as far as I can tell, this is kind of like what Wicked did for the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I mean, is it creepy or is it whitewashed, you know?
I don't know. Angelina Jolie, look at her. Those cheekbones are awesome.
Is that digitally enhanced cheekbones?
No, she's got some makeup. She's got some makeup issues.
Contacts.
And her teeth are pretty.
It's all her teeth are always pretty. I mean, that's Hollywood. Nobody has real teeth there. But
yeah, those cheekbones can't be real.
No, they're prosthetic. Is that
This whole thing is just CG. I imagine her cheekbones.
No, there's a real castle. Shut up. Shut up. That's all real.
That's her real aura, too.
It's in Prague, right? Right, Michael? You were
and
in
she
Prague?
really dismisses people by making that little gesture.
That's all
and
Prague.
Then they vanish.
That's all Prague.
That's kind of Jedi-like.
That's all Prague.
She almost looks a little too powerful in this trailer. It looks like she can just flick her finger and pretty much do anything she wants. So.
She can. That's the point. That's the point.
You know, when a character gets that powerful, and I'm going to have this comment again.
About Lucy, right?
Lucy, yeah. It starts to become, you know, I don't know, unrealistic if you can apply that to a movie like this.
I don't know. I love her in this, and I love her wings. I love that they make her like a Valkyrie almost. Like I'm excited for this movie, one, because Angelina Jolie, I think, is just owning it. I mean, look at that. Look at that mean girl smile. She's great. And I think that the story is going to be really fun. I don't think it's going to be a kids movie, which is going to be interesting to see how many little girls and little boys that watch this are going to have nightmares for the rest of their lives.
I would have.
Yeah.
And it is, you know, Kelsey, you were saying, did they kind of whitewash the story? And from what I understand, it is kind of like trying to make her a little bit of a sympathetic character who is just, she had a bad childhood, and so
I mean,
she's acting out or something.
They did that with Darth Vader.
Sure.
I mean, come on. I mean, every bad villain has, not all villains are born evil. A lot of them were made evil, and I think that this is, I'm excited for this. But the funny thing, the backstory on this is, I can't remember which character, but when the little girl is super small, her own daughter had to play this role because when they auditioned small children to act with Angelina Jolie when she was had all of her makeup and prosthetics on, they all cried and ran from the room. So the only little girl who didn't was her own because she knew that was her mom behind all that. So her kids make an appearance in this film, which is kind of interesting. Entertainment Weekly, I think, did a story on that. So I'm just I'm not a big fan of Disney fairy tale type stuff, so I'm stoked for this. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm goth and my goth side just wants to see Angelina Jolie be evil.
I'm not going to see it in protest because, in fact, not only am I not going to see it, I have to basically hide the fact that there's a Sleeping Beauty movie for my 6-year-old who this is going to be too scary for her. So I'm going to express solidarity and
you can wait for Cinderella. You can wait. Cinderella teaser trailer just came out this week.
Is it a Cinderella reboot?
It's nice one. I like that.
No, I was
I
hoping.
saw.
I
You know
was
what?
serious.
I saw that trailer and it annoyed me.
The teaser trailer. The reason I'm laughing at
Terrible.
Reboot because that's a shoe
the
pun.
shoe.
Did you? Okay.
Slippers.
It's all
Yeah.
they did, and I hate teaser trailers for this.
Terrible.
Teaser trailers usually just show the spinning logo, or they do a bait and switch where they make you think it's going to be a horror film, but then it's the Muppets. It's like they do stuff like that, right? But this was just a picture of. There's no spoilers here, by the way. It was just a revolving image of CGI glass slippers, which look very strippery.
Loose
They
sight.
do. They
If
are
I
kinda
recall,
strippery.
those glass slippers were not 8-inch heels. They were
So
not
annoying.
cha-cha heels. These are cha-cha heels. I feel like this is Step Up 2 or something. Like, that's
Sounds
going to... I don't
Sounds
know.
like my family has to skip that one too now.
Well, maybe not. I mean, I don't know. Barbie didn't exactly wear sensible shoes,
It's
so...
a minute.
Yeah.
It's a minute of this.
Yeah, it's that.
It's a minute long.
A minute of shoe. It's like a really long Jimmy Choo ad.
It's like did Samsung do that trailer? Or something?
Yeah, it looks like a technology
Or T-
tablet ad.
Yeah,
Sure.
THX.
But yeah, I saw this and I was like, is something gonna happen? No.
I
Okay.
do want to
Nothing's
know, actually, I might do some recon because I want to know who designed those shoes. Because if it was an actual Jimmy
It
Choo
had to
type,
be-
right?
It probably is some famous.
It's got to be
designer.
some. If they were
Swatch.
smart.
Yeah,
If they were
product.
smart. Anyway.
Right, here it is. Here it is.
Anyway. Yeah.
Wow.
That actually looks like a shoe.
Now, yeah,
Thank
look
you.
how high that heel is.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
And look how the angle is for your foot.
No, that's insane.
That's Betty. Those are Betty Page shoes.
Yeah. Well, it's not even flat at the bottom. I
Yeah,
think.
those are, and then the little butterfly lands on, yeah.
So
And
we
then
are
it
not-
crystallizes.
I'm
So
surprised
it's
you only lost one of those, right?
it's a butterfly killer.
You kick them both off as soon as you could.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
We're skeptical of all fairy tale.
I know
reboots.
we're so
This sounds like-
judgmental and where's the
Well, here-
magic?
Well, here we can fix that a little bit with the next movie. That's the next one, Transformers: Age of Extinction. And you can be cynical about the Transformers franchise and about Michael Bay, but when it comes down to it, it's dinosaur Transformers and Mark Wahlberg.
Dinobots.
Say no more. You know,
Dinobots.
I have
used to
not
have
actually.
Dinobots. I loved them.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen any of these Transformers movies. Have you guys?
Are you
watched-
serious? I've watched them
haven't.
all. I love them.
I only saw the first one. I thought the first one was good.
I am a horrible person because I love them all because I don't take them seriously and I was never a hardcore Transformers cartoon fan. I love the cartoon, but those weren't exactly Citizen Kane either.
I rewatched the cartoons a few years ago,
Yeah.
and it was kind of funny how just odd and childlike the robots are. Like, they really don't think like humans.
No. But then again, most aliens are kind of childlike.
Or are they?
With an ant farm. That's us.
Michael, what do you think of Transformers?
Based on the trailer, I'm definitely going to see it. It's somehow I missed the whole Transformers thing in my life. Like I was just like my brother, who's 7 years younger than me, was a huge Transformer fan and had the toys and watched the cartoons and everything. And I don't know. I fell into this hole where there was no Transformers in my life, so I haven't really watched the cartoons or seen the other movies. But this trailer, it looks fun.
I'm kind of sold on Mark Wahlberg. I feel like that's an upgrade for this franchise. What do you
Anything
think?
God,
is, I
yeah,
mean, come on.
right.
Definitely an
Anything's an
upgrade.
upgrade from Shia LaBeouf.
I guess we're unanimous on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a paperweight on my desk that would be an upgrade from Shia.
But is that a downgrade in Mark Wahlberg's career?
No.
Okay.
I think Wahlberg. I think
Do
Wahlberg will
anything.
do any. I
Yeah.
think he's really, relatively savvy about the action films he does, and he's a pretty decent actor. He's actually really funny too. So when he's in comedies, he's pretty great. But
You could argue there's no such thing as a $20 million downgrade, too.
that's a Michael Bay. I mean, here's the thing too. Michael Bay is Michael Bay. You can't expect him to be David Lynch. You can't expect him to be Wes Anderson. He is what he is, and he's always going to be that. And if you don't like Michael Bay-esque movies, you probably shouldn't go see Transformers. Look at that!
Wow.
Look at that!
All right. This is the only part that I want to see the movie.
Yeah,
for.
dinosaur. Yeah,
And he's riding one. That's
yeah.
so cool.
That's. Ugh. And I will say, especially after seeing the very first Transformers, my favorite thing about Transformers is the sound design.
Oh
yeah?
yeah.
Because the sound design is so dead on brilliant, so well thought out. it's just especially if you're in a theater that has really good sound, it just reverberates the whole building, and it's just amazing. So I love that.
I really noticed the sound in the Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier. It really, not in an obtrusive way, but it just made everything happening on screen so much more like heavy things were heavy. And,
yeah. I don't think people really give sound designers enough credit, and that to me it can make or break a movie, especially if you watch really crappy sci-fi movies on Netflix. And the sound is like I do.
Yes.
Sound design's not there, it can ruin a whole movie. It really, really can. So I think that's something people should, give kudos to.
So we're all going to go see this one in IMAX, it sounds like.
Not me.
If I can kickstart it.
Yeah.
I can't afford IMAX. Maybe I'll just sit by a speaker. If I can find the speaker, I'll sit by it.
I'll come over and crush tin cans outside your window, Bonnie.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that.
Awesome. All right, well, that's Transformers Age of Extinction coming out in June. So the next one on the list is kind of the oddball indie film on the list. It's called The Signal. It's starring Lawrence Fishburne. And I watched the trailers and I looked for as much information online as I could, and I still can't really tell you what this movie is about. All I know is that it involves hackers and waking up imprisoned in the desert and some kind of conspiracy theories. I was kind of interested in it because it was filmed here in New Mexico and actually here in Taos, where I'm sitting right now. And yeah, I don't know much else about it. It's kind of intriguing. It's a Sundance movie. Like I said, it's indie. Do you guys know anything about this that I don't?
You've said everything I know.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about it. Like, I didn't hear any buzz about it or anything, so I don't. I mean, it's good to see Lawrence Fishburne in something other besides an insurance commercial. So I'm glad he's acting again. That's awesome.
I do want to know what the signal is, though. It is intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's nice to see an indie film tackle something in the sci-fi sort of realm.
And it looks really slick.
Massive productions. To see maybe a smaller budget film tackle the genre.
And it looks really slick for what I would expect from an indie film.
Oh, there's a cow.
There is a cow.
Are you sure it's about hackers and it's not about alien abduction?
I know it looks like, well, it could be both, but the characters are definitely hackers.
Well, if aliens were smart, they would start abducting hackers and not dumb farmers that just get probed. I mean, I grew up in Kansas, and I've never met anyone that was abducted by an alien in Kansas, but as soon as I moved to Colorado, apparently everyone in the trailer park kept getting abducted, so I don't know what that means.
It has something to do with drug consumption.
Yeah, good sound design.
That was Taos right there, by the way.
Who directed this?
I saw that earlier. I don't remember.
If only we had the internet.
Oh, I have the internet.
Oh, okay. I do like that more and more indie directors and filmmakers are trying to do sci-fi and monster films. I think that's great. I mean, obviously District 9 was a great thing. Monster with Gareth, who did Godzilla. I mean, he started off with Monster, so...
Director of The Signal is William Eubank, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Is that?
There we
no
go.
idea.
All right.
IMDb him, please.
Okay. I'm doing it.
I don't know. I'll probably wait till it's on Netflix or on demand or something. I don't normally go to a theater for indie films.
When I saw the trailer, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Europa Report, which is a really lesser known indie film from last year, space travel sci-fi thing that was really good and nobody saw it.
I saw it. I liked that.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
And it was well done and it was smart and I don't know. So I have hopes for this based on a slight renaissance of indie sci-fi that I think might be building.
Was that the one where an astronaut was sent out into space to...
I missed the name.
Europa Report?
Europa Report. No, they land on Europa, which is...
right. No, I'm thinking of a different trailer that just came out.
By the way, one of the things William Eubank has done is called Crave.
Yeah, okay.
Cosmic.
Wow.
Wholehearted endorsement then.
Full circle.
And he looks really young.
Cool.
So it sounds like we're waiting for Netflix on this one. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I'll go along.
Okay. So the next one on our list, I think, by the way, that comes out also in June, The Signal. So another one, now this one's coming out in August, but I think will be worth the wait. This is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Another Marvel one with a really super weird cast of characters.
To quote Rocket Raccoon, oh yeah.
We are all incredibly excited about this one, guys.
Yeah.
It's got Chris
Well,
Pratt in it.
I don't even want to talk during the trailer. I'm so excited.
I think the first trailer is better than the second one.
I'll watch them all over and over and over.
Well, sure.
Yeah. Hey, cool, man. No problem. No problem at all.
Who are you?
Star-Lord.
Who?
Well, Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Forget it.
Oh, so good.
It's so cute. I mean, funny.
The rest of these 5 on Xandar. Check out the rap sheets.
Drax, aka the Destroyer. Since his wife and family were killed, he's been on a rampage across the galaxy in his search for vengeance. Gamora, soldier, assassin, wanted on over a dozen counts of murder. Rocket, wanted on over 50 charges of vehicular theft and escape from lockup.
What the hell?
Groot has been traveling recently as Rocket's personal houseplant / muscle.
Peter Jason Quill. He's also known as Star-Lord.
Who calls him that?
Himself, mostly.
He's wanted largely on charges of minor assault, public intoxication, and fraud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
So good.
To me, this is like channeling. Chris Pratt is like channeling Nathan Fillion from Firefly, but he's better. I prefer him. I think, which I know is sacrilege.
Well, he's doing more of a loser thing. Like Mal in Firefly was not a loser. This guy is sort of a rebel in the misfit, offbeat sense more. I feel.
I don't know. Captain Mal definitely had this misfit element to him. In an angry sense of humor as well. He had a short fuse.
I think in a more heroic, obviously heroic way, though, perhaps.
Yeah, it wasn't... Yeah, it was temperamental in a different way.
Yeah.
They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
And, you know, anytime you had a raccoon.
What a bunch of a-holes. You know, it's so great that they have a good mix of Americans and Brits in this, too. That was Peter Sarah I can never pronounce his last name.
I know how to spell it.
Sarah
Yeah, I don't know how to spell it.
And geeks will know him as the voice of Darth Maul. But he's also been in a bazillion things. I mean, he's a really well-known comedic actor in the UK as well. And he was also on Parks and Rec because when Chris Pratt was in London filming Guardians of the Galaxy, that's why they had a London British episode of Parks and Rec, is because they wanted to make sure Chris was still on the show while he was filming. And Karen Gillian's in this too, yeah?
Oh.
From Doctor Who.
Great.
Anyway, and Zoe...
And Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, Peter. And Zoe's in everything.
Right.
Zoe's in every sci-fi show, which I'm okay with. Bradley Cooper's the voice of Rocket Raccoon, which I don't really like him as an actor, but I might like him now.
Because we can't see his smug face.
And Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel's in it too. Well, his voice. His voice is in it.
His voice has always been the best. I mean, I love Vin Diesel, but his voice is really
his voice is great.
Big thing.
So I'm looking forward to this because this is the misfit sci-fi movie of the year that I've been wanting to see forever. I'm actually more excited to see this than the new Star Wars when it comes out. I know that's a blasphemy. Sacrilege, especially since I worked for Lucasfilm for like a decade, so I feel like I have to return my Lucasfilm card. But or Ewoks are going to come for me in the night. But I cannot wait for this. I love the comic. I've been wanting this to happen for so long. It's funny because Star Wars sort of has an equivalent to this called Wraith Squadron, which has a Jackson the Rabbit, which is the green rabbit in Star Wars. This is all expanded universe. This is an expanded universe. So as we know, Disney's already said, yeah, you're not getting that movie. But it's got like a Grammarian Guard Jedi in it too. I mean, there's so many great things. So I'm always for misfits. I'm always for animals that shouldn't be talking but are. I'm just so excited for this. I think it's gonna be funny and it's gonna be witty and it's gonna be action packed.
And the trailer really sold it to me that this is the one that's gonna be a little different from the other Marvel movies. This is gonna be the one with the attitude, the one that's a little more offbeat, and the sideways one. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I have nothing but faith in James Gunn. I think he's a great director. I'm excited that he's doing this. I think people are going to be surprised pleasantly about this movie.
Joseph Nitt says on Twitter that our complete silence during the trailer shows that this is pretty clearly our favorite.
Yeah.
How could you tell?
I guess I have to agree.
I actually watch this trailer at least once a day now. I watch all the trailers, but I really
and
do.
then I compare them.
I do because I can't. I'm so excited for this. It gives me chills, and I'm just so thrilled. And it's when you're a jaded sci-fi fan and a jaded comic book fan like I am, when you finally see something, you're like, oh my god. And you get
it's
super
really working
excited
the way
for
it's
it?
supposed to work. Yeah,
And
it really
yeah,
gets you
that's
in.
how
Yeah.
you're supposed to feel with all of these movies we're
Right,
talking
right.
about.
A lot of the times,
Unfortunately,
nice effort, good effort.
Yeah.
But this one's
I'm actually not looking forward to this one at the risk of being
That's okay.
ostracized by my fellow favors. And
We appreciate
it's really
that.
all the same reasons you guys are looking forward to it. Like, I kind of don't like comedy in my sci-fi. You know, I like the more big, serious, you know, kind of sci-fi things, and the comedy just always irritates me. In general, I don't watch comedy movies, so that's probably why this one's just not resonating with me. I've tried to like it, but it's just not.
Are you more of a?
Not a Simon Pegg fan?
No.
You're such a
Are you
killjoy.
more of a DC guy? The
No,
Batmans,
it's not even
the
that. It's
Spider-Mans?
just, like, the characters look cool, but I think the comedy is what's turning me off a little bit. And also I like, you know, I'm more of an X-Men kind of fan, so I like people who have powers, and these characters don't look like they have any
But there's
powers.
comedy in X-Men.
It's not like the same.
Oh, there's comedy in
Clowny.
X-Men. I mean, that's what Wolverine. I mean, it's funny. Deadpool's just put in there to irritate Wolverine, and the last movie I'm still waiting for a Deadpool movie. I was hoping that was going to happen with Ryan Reynolds, but who knows where that lies? And that's definitely comedy, because all Deadpool does is break the fourth wall and upset Wolverine.
I actually had a question. Do I have to see the most recent Wolverine movie before I see the new X-Men movie? Is that necessary?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, because you're going back and
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, because I haven't seen that one yet.
I
I've
don't
watched
know.
them out of order, and it's been okay.
That's a good Twitter question.
Oh yeah,
I think people on Twitter should answer that, because I honestly, I think it's going to be fine as a standalone.
Right.
But
I mean,
that is a good question, because there are things that
'Cause I
might
can.
tie it
I will.
in. Yeah. Anyway,
The
okay.
movie gave me kind of a Galaxy Quest vibe when I first saw the trailer.
That's
I got-
one of my
I got
favorite
that
movies
kind
of all
vibe.
time.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Probably the music too doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Hey, Steven, so we've got 3 more movies. We're at 30 minutes. Are we cool to keep going?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I think so. We're 3-1 on Guardians of the Galaxy, and maybe
But
Michael
we're all
has
going
the last
twice?
word.
Yeah, I count as double.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going
we gotta
twice.
wait till August. We gotta wait till August for that one.
Ugh.
Michael
Money
gets to see
saved, but
X-Men
not going to
much sooner, so I guess he wins. So another one. Okay, so this is another one that I forget. One of us was excited about this one. It's called Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
coming out
I'm
in
excited about
June.
this one.
Yeah, two
With
of us.
Tom Cruise, and this is basically a movie where you see Tom Cruise wearing an insane exoskeleton get killed over and over again.
He just
So I
tweeted
would
about
think-
that, right? About
Yeah.
the DARPA.
Yeah.
outfit.
We have a post about that on Crave.
Yeah, he's
It's Chris. It's the politically incorrect blog.
and that's Emily Blunt, for those wanting to know who else is in this film.
Right. It's basically Starship Troopers Groundhog's Day.
Yeah,
So you just watch
Oh,
him
very
die
good.
over and over.
except not as funny as Starship Troopers.
Well, I never saw the movie. I'm talking about the book, actually.
Oh, okay. Touche.
Sorry, I'm out of touch. All right, I just read the book a long time
Look
ago.
at those. Oh, look at those uniforms, though.
Yeah, kind of Harkness on him there.
Yeah.
Captain Jack Torchwood. Sorry, guys.
So I have kind of mixed feelings on this one. I haven't been too happy with Tom Cruise's sci-fi attempt. So I wasn't big on Oblivion, and
Really? Oh, okay.
not really.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm withholding judgment.
Bonnie,
I think
you have
it's a
feelings
little
about
weird
this,
that
right?
this has, you know, I don't entirely, aside from the trailer, I don't know what this is about, but it seems to have this Oblivion theme of it, in that he can get killed and keep coming back. So I find it odd that he's in another movie where he gets killed and comes back.
Well, no, it's the Groundhog's Day plot. You know, every day you get
Yeah.
a chance to do something a little bit
he's
different.
I mean, in Oblivion, he's a clone, and I guess here he actually.
Yeah, he's not a clone. He's just a regular dude, but he has to be trained by Emily Blunt over and over and over so he can actually become a soldier.
And I think
Because-
it's pretty funny that she keeps shooting him to start the day over, because that's
And she's the one that's the ultimate soldier, which I love that they make a female the ultimate soldier that's training him to be a soldier. 'Cause
Well, there's a
he's-
line in the movie where he says, "I'm not a soldier, I'm a weapon."
Right.
Which
Right.
they like.
Yeah.
Well, she
so
tells
he's
him
like
that
some
you're a
secret
weapon,
weapon.
Yeah, but there's still a very lengthy training montages
Yeah.
because you have to have that in a Tom Cruise movie.
which is basically what reminded me of Starship Troopers, because it's like you're going up against this, you know, vile, endless alien over and over. But what does that make you? You're basically a human fly swatter. You're just you become nothing.
But luckily, there's no Busey in this one.
Right.
I said Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers had some real political overtones
It
to
really
it.
does, and it's probably the most quoted sci-fi film ever. Like, I love the humor in it. I mean, Michael would hate it, but I don't.
Does the fact that he is doing these movies where he keeps, being reincarnated?
Are you trying to do the Xenu thing? The Xenu?
Maybe we should stay off that.
Here's the thing. Scientology is what it is. I was raised in a very religious Catholic family, so to me, all religion sort of has that sci-fi element to it. So whether it's angels or aliens, to me, it's all the same. It's just a matter of what you put into your faith. And Scientology is crazy controversial. But Tom Cruise as an actor, I think, is really good. And he totally commits. And I don't care if he's crazy. If he's a good actor and I believe him in that character, I think he's great. Because there's a lot of really crazy actors in Hollywood, religion aside. And if you could put their personal life to the side and really focus on whether or not they're talented, to me, that's what matters.
If your characters are known for their intensity and you're really good at being very intense,
I mean,
that does work out.
He does his own stunts. A lot of time he's paying for a lot of these movies to be made. He's producing these movies. I love that he likes sci-fi just as much as he likes Mission Impossible or Jack Reacher.
Don't get me started.
Oh, God.
I love that show, and I can't believe what they did with it.
See, I love both. I don't know. So I'm glad that he does sci-fi, but you are correct. And some of these movies are starting to blend in. So Oblivion and this could kind of be blending into each other.
It does. It just makes you wonder how he makes his decisions on what he's going to do. But who knows?
I think he just goes for it. And honestly, I can't think of too many flops he's been in recently. So I feel like a lot of this money is well spent. I don't know. I'm excited to see him in this. I'll go see it because I love Emily Blunt and I love this concept. And I like movies that kind of warp timelines. And I was a big Groundhog Day fan, so
Yeah,
by the way, if you guys like the Groundhog's Day plot, there's a cop thriller with the Groundhog's Day plot starring Taye Diggs, Adam Baldwin from Firefly, Victoria Pratt from Cleopatra 2525. You can get it on Netflix. It's really good. I recommend it.
What's it called?
Daybreak, 2 words. Like daybreak, but awesome. 2 words.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, Adam Baldwin's another one that you have to separate personal life from acting.
Right, he's a total
he's horrible
conservative.
Well, he's really bad at conventions, and he's bad to other actors. So but again,
he's really good at being Jane, though.
Yeah, I mean, I went to see Ender's Game, even though there was all that controversy with Ender's Game. So it's just a matter of what do you care about and what do you want to throw your money at, and I don't know. It is hard for socially responsible sci-fi fans these days to.
Oh wow! Sorry, I just found out that Emily Blunt was on Foyle's War. That's so cool.
Yeah, she's great.
Unfortunately, since we are talking about sci-fi, we don't have to bring up Woody Allen. So anyway, Edge of Tomorrow comes out in June, and so 2 more to go, and I am really hoping that we will all universally pan this next one because this is my least favorite reboot I think ever.
Let's hear
it.
So
it's the second one in the Planet of the Apes reboot. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and so this is number 2 after Rise of the Planet of the Apes with James Franco. So now we're 15 years in the future beyond that one. We don't have James Franco anymore, and I think we just have this movie is apparently just a bridge to get us to the 3rd movie, which is already in process. I have no desire
Noon
to
on
see
Planet
this.
of the Apes.
Yeah.
Good cast, though. I mean,
who was that? Gary Oldman?
Well, Gary Oldman was at the beginning.
How old is he now?
He's timeless. He's a vampire. He's Dracula.
Yeah.
He doesn't age.
Trick question.
Yeah. Look at those eyes.
Does it seem to anybody a little bit? Maybe. Okay, I'm not going to open that can of worms.
You're going to say Mel Gibson, weren't you?
No.
It's not just about power. It's about giving us the hope to rebuild and reclaim the world we lost.
Just for the record, I always root for the apes. I never root for the humans. The humans had it coming. Humans had it coming. Yeah. They really did.
Like Tolkien said, he always roots for the trees.
Yeah. Seriously. Humans had it coming. These movies, the original movies, were some of my favorite movies because of the political aspects. It's supposed to reflect the times they're made in. And they teach these original Planet of the Apes movies in social history classes a lot of times in college because they reflect directly with social injustice, and they used to be great. And I mean, the special effects weren't there clearly, but they were believable. Now, I don't know if that is still in those movies or if they're just kind of sci-fi horror films now. I don't know if they still have a political message. So I might go see it. I don't think I'll go see it in a theater. Like I don't know. Saying I'll wait for Netflix is such a lazy cop out because I watch everything on Netflix. I mean, it doesn't matter.
So it's true.
So I'll still watch it. I just won't throw money at it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Eric,
So
you
you'll
sound
watch
like you
it?
have.
I was gonna say, so you'll watch it instead of sleeping.
I know. I mean, how do you pan something as a movie fan when you pretty much watch everything anyway? I just won't go out of my way to see it, but if it's on Netflix, I'll watch it. So I don't know what that makes me. Passively caring? I don't know.
Normal? That sounds very normal to me.
Lazy? I don't know.
Part of your job.
Cheap?
Part of your job.
Yeah.
Efficient?
Efficient, yeah. Who's directing this?
IMDb.
It's because didn't Tim Burton direct one of them?
Did he really? Oh, the one with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
With
Carrie
Mark-
Russell's
I
in
never
this.
saw that one.
Ew.
Marky Mark.
Marky Mark.
I'll never call him Mark Wahlberg.
Director Matt Reeves.
Who's also done...
Oh, well, if you want that too,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to have to click something.
I don't know.
else.
It's not that it really matters.
Felicity? Wait.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I clicked the wrong thing.
I might change my mind.
So is he part of the Bad Robot crew then?
Under Siege 2 Dark Territory. That was terrible.
Oh, no.
So was anyone interested in this? What did you think, Michael?
I'm not interested, especially since James Franco's not in it, who shares my last name.
True. Valid point.
No Team Franco.
He's doing a bunch of other stuff, though. I think he has another movie that's coming out that he wrote the screenplay. I mean, he doesn't sleep, and he just...
Have you seen his weird art movie?
Yeah.
That was on demand.
Which one?
Yeah.
I loved it.
I did too.
I liked it a lot.
I did
He's like
too.
whispering into the mic. He's like, you
Yeah,
can't even
yeah.
understand what he's saying. Half the movie is just going.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
think
great.
he's like... I don't... I'm probably going to get lambasted on our Twitter for this, but I kind of feel like he's like a young David Lynch in the sense that he's got a lot of weird stuff
He's
going
very
on.
David Lynchy,
Yeah, because
Creepy.
David Lynch he's doing film, but he's doing films that he just wants to see. He doesn't care if you want to see it or not. And he does coffee, and he does weather reports, and he writes books, and he does art shows. I kind of feel like that's what James does. Is he's just doing whatever he wants, and if you want to come along for the ride, great. And if not, he doesn't really care. But he's got a great following. I loved him on the soap opera he did when he's basically playing himself as an actor on a soap opera. Like that was a giant like art project in a medium that a lot of people take very seriously. So I love
James
that.
Van Der Beek move there.
Yeah, it was kind of a Van Der Beek move. But yeah, where's my Van Der Beek sci-fi movie? I've been waiting for that forever.
Yeah.
I agree with you on at least on James Franco that if I were in his position, I'd like to think that I would, if I had a month to kill or so, I'm going to go film an Allen Ginsberg movie instead of make a Capital One commercial.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, and the great thing is his choices are so left field. I mean, he did a weird art show where he was basically just drawing male anatomy on everything. And then he's done like poetry readings. And then he's done audiobooks, which is kind of a no-brainer. Most actors do audiobooks. But just what he chooses to do in his off time is just so bizarre and kind of commendable because no one can really figure him out. And he's cool with hipsters, but also that's okay because even though he's cool with hipsters, we still like him. Because I know that's like the thing to hate on hipster love. So I don't know. I kind of want him to do sci-fi stuff. So maybe he'll do more.
Well, he was in that Oz movie.
That's true.
It's fantasies.
Yeah.
He actually got his master's degree in my little town here in North Carolina. So there were all these James Franco sightings around town while he was working on his poetry masters.
So he's
Scandals.
He's got a lot of masters. He's got two PhDs, and they weren't honorary. He like actually went to class for them.
You can hang out with Kesha, the unexpected geniuses.
Nice. Anyway.
So basically, we endorse the actor that's not in the movie.
Yeah, sorry. Tangent.
When it comes to that, no,
I don't know. You know what? I'm not going to go see this movie. So there.
Yeah.
Done. Next.
So that one is in July, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. If you totally disagree with us, go check it out. So the last one, let's do one more. We'll save the Batman stuff for a future CraveCast. So one more that's coming out this summer is Lucy. And I am excited for this, but for I think both the right and the wrong reasons. The wrong reasons probably being associated with Scarlett Johansson, who stars in it.
I don't know what you mean, Eric.
and the right reasons being it's kind of a fascinating premise that The basic idea is that she's a woman who is taken and forced, knocked out, and then they basically put drugs in her. She's a drug mule against her will, and the drugs leak, and somehow this gives her access to more of her brain than the average bear, and she basically turns into a insane fighting machine. So it's basically a lot of Scarlett Johansson just kicking butt, but also there's kind of an interesting, I guess, biotech aspect to it.
Now, did anyone else here read Heinlein's book Friday?
Is that what this is based on?
Not, I wouldn't say so, but the whole thing, so there's a super strong, like, genetically altered woman, and in the beginning she's told that she's smuggling something in her belly button, like this lady, and then it all turns out to be a scam, and they're going to kill her, and I think actually she was pregnant. Sorry, book spoilers. But, yeah, it just made me think of that in the beginning, and I wanted to know if anyone else thought that too. I guess not.
I'm just going to pretend this is Black Widow on vacation.
Yeah, pretty much. So I have a question, and I think Michael Franco shares this with me. Once she gets so powerful, where does the story go from there? Like, if characters don't have limits, it becomes more a question of what does she want? What's her goal? What's her end game here?
Yeah, exactly. She seems like she could do absolutely everything, from reading Wi-Fi signals in the air to disintegrating people with a snap of her finger. So I think that is the question.
There's hints in the trailer that it kind of becomes a battle against the self, because she's like battling against the old her. This is making her less human and less empathic, but so she's kind of battling to preserve her old self. And then there's this Morgan Freeman character that seems to be playing some kind of a guide. I'm guessing that's where it goes. I don't know.
Well, and of course the name Lucy, the first human is called Lucy, the first human skeleton, so it's a sort of a nod to human evolution. She's the next human.
Pulling in the science. I wish I could swipe traffic away. I love that ending.
It's like Tinder for traffic.
And that too, putting everyone to sleep. I can't tell you how many annoying drunks are outside the bus stop outside my home at 3 a.m. I would love to do that.
And I'm going to be there with the tin cans. Doing the Transformers
She has
thing.
all the powers I want, which is being able to find things quickly, change my hair color
instantly,
quickly.
yeah.
She's like shapeshifter, fighting machine. I'm down. I'll watch it.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. What could you do if you could actually use the full potential of your brain? I'm not sure why affecting your hair color in the physical world would actually be part of that, but it's just go with it.
It's a Harry Potter Tonks thing.
Yeah.
We all want to be able to change our appearance easily, like a shapeshifter, because then it's also you can hide within plain sight as well, not just vanity issues. But one thing I really love about this movie too, not only because it's a strong female character kicking butt, but you have to kind of wonder, when you have that much access to everything in your brain, how quickly do you go insane?
Right. I think we're going to see that probably.
And are we going to see that? I mean, we kind of, that's a trope that shows up in a lot of sci-fi, TV, comics, movies, where if you kind of get the God gene, if you suddenly become this overly powered human, what do you do with that?
Because you have the power, but you don't have the practice, you don't have the setup. You haven't built the control mechanism.
I mean,
so you don't know how to use it yet.
That also helps with, that happens with superheroes or people that have sudden power.
Right.
Do you use it for good? Do you use it for bad? Do you just use it to cheat things that you didn't get before?
If you're lucky, you have some baby steps period.
Yeah.
I'm interested that the other recent movie with pretty much the same premise has not come up yet, and I'm thinking maybe that's because it stars Bradley Cooper.
Which
Limitless.
Right. Yeah, that's on Netflix.
That's with De Niro, right?
Yeah.
De Niro in that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
It's on Netflix.
He takes a pill or something, right?
Yeah.
He takes a pill.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he becomes
And he
really
writes a book.
smart.
I think he's like a frustrated writer, and he takes the pill, and he gets his book done, and then gets a whole lot more stuff done.
I'm not sure that's
But
a
I
good
don't think he
message.
gets powers, does he?
It's like the anti-hangover.
Yeah, right.
It's like pre-hangover. Yeah, it's like college.
It's just like college, cramming for the exam.
Yeah. I don't know. I like this one better because I think I love where it's set. I don't know. I can't wait to see it. I'll go see this. And I love seeing Morgan Freeman as any kind
obviously.
of guide or any kind of like Yoda-esque character.
It's kind of funny because it seems like she's going to turn into a god at the end, maybe. But Morgan Freeman is God, so how can they
Morgan
both be God
Freeman's
in the
always
movie?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. We were talking about this, not to give any spoilers away, because we won't, but at the very season or series finale of Supernatural on CW, I'm hoping that God shows up, and I really hope it's Morgan Freeman. because that would be great. Because he just needs to play God and everything. I think it'd be great.
But your theory that it would be a woman also
But if
makes
it's a
sense.
woman, yeah. But if it's CW,
because that show has issues about fathers.
Well, the
and
problem with
women,
CW
both,
and
so.
Supernatural is they don't always. They'll probably, the first 2 seasons of Supernatural, it was like every demon was a Hooters waitress. So I don't know if they'll really make that.
And vice versa.
And vice versa.
Much.
So
yeah.
anyway, sorry, tangent. But
Yes.
yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I will totally go see it.
So
Michael Franco?
something-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Michael, what do you think?
Yeah, Franco.
I kind of agree with your initial assessment, Eric. I'm definitely going to see it. Probably largely because of Scarlett, but I think it looks like a good movie and a good action movie. But I guess I also have this thing that I said earlier that when a character becomes so powerful, the movie just it can almost get a little bit boring. Where she could just wave her finger and pretty much do absolutely anything conceivable. It's I don't know that it makes for a good movie, but we'll see. I'm going to see it.
Something just occurred to me, and we're talking about the choices of the character choices and the roles people take. This evolving, transcendent character is kind of also what happened with ScarJo's character in Her. So I wonder if maybe she has some sort of a.
Well, keep in mind too, the movie release date is not signifying when they were filmed. So a lot of times, movies are filmed that are released are filmed out of order of when they actually were in them. So her evolution as an actress and what she's choosing as roles that may not quite have the same relevance we kind of want it to. But I loved Her. I thought that was a great movie. And I guess, yeah, it's sci-fi, right? Yeah. So I would, or just, is it just from 5 years from now? I don't know.
Hey, I've got a comment from favorite colleague Jeff Sparkman on Twitter here. And I'm not sure what he's referring to, but he says, that basic premise reminds me of the Teen Titans villain, the Terminator. Both are based on that 10% myth.
Oh, of the using your brain? Yeah, I wonder about that too. If you could have the capacity to use all of your brain, would you really be that much smarter, or would it just be amplifying how you already are?
Would you just have an amazing memory? And
yeah. Like
you have a migraine.
If you were always a douchebag and you could use all of your brain, would you still be a douchebag but with powers?
Can you imagine having a migraine 10 times as bad?
Oh, God. And you'd be annoyed with dumb people even more.
Even more.
So
maybe it'd be above annoyance.
Yeah, I guess you could just put him asleep like she does in the trailer.
Or like Maleficent did.
Yeah, but it's just, I feel like if you're already kind of annoyed with dumb people and you become godlike smart, how do you keep from just pushing everyone off a bridge that you think stupid?
Because you're going to get a stern lecture from Morgan Freeman.
Oh, that's it. Morgan Freeman's your base of morality for everything. Yeah.
I think we have a real world analog here. I think you become Bill Clinton. You become really smart, really charismatic, but still sleazy.
Oh, I would like that in a movie character if you become a really sleazy superhero.
Well, actually, the young Professor X that they're showing in these latest movies is kind of like that.
Is he pretty sleazy?
Yeah. We did a drinking game one time watching X-Men First Class, and one of the things you drink on was every time Xavier does something that kind of douchey. And we were all pretty sozzled in the first minute or so.
Captain Kirk is probably one of the sleaziest of, but he's not really a superhero. He's just,
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. Yeah. I mean, we should do that. Maybe we should write a CNET article of our favorite sleazy superheroes. I feel like that's,
totally.
I mean, it's a little BuzzFeed-esque, but I think we could get away with it on CNET Crave.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Budget it.
I'll budget that. So Twitter, send us your suggestions of your favorite sleazy superheroes, and we'll take a look.
And we'll go read their stuff and watch
their
movies.
Research. We'll do some research. Yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, I think we're pretty much wrapping up here. Lucy comes out in August at some point, so watch for that. So one last thing we could do, Kelsey, you suggested maybe we could go around and just kind of blurt out some things that we would like to see. Maybe we could do movies we'd most like to see in the future that we want somebody to make.
I'll go first because the story just went up today. The Blade Runner sequel. I'm a huge Blade Runner fan. By the way, I got some angry comments on Twitter for people saying, "How dare you saying that Deckard's a replicant?" I didn't say that in the article. It says that some fans think he's a replicant. So you can draw your own conclusions. So the whole thing is that Alcon Entertainment asked this week Harrison Ford if he would be interested in reprising his role as Deckard in the Blade Runner sequel. If you recently read his AMA on Reddit, which we covered on CNET, he did actually cover this article or this comment last month when a fan asked him about a Blade Runner sequel and if he'd do it. And he said he'd be, if the script was good, he'd be very interested And he liked working with Ridley Scott, even though before they had sort of a weird past where they argued a lot on set. When it first was being filmed, the original in 1982. But he's interested in coming back. Well, in the AMA, he said that. He hasn't said that recently because, of course, as we know, he's in London right now filming Star Wars as Han Solo, reprising his role. And even though the 2008 Indiana Jones movie didn't do so well when he came back as Indy, there is
Shia LaBeouf again.
Pretty heavy rumor that he's going to be doing another Indiana Jones movie after Star Wars. So we'll see if, he's going to be playing Deckard. I would love to see Sean Young come back as Rachel, but we'll see if that happens too. But I'm excited if there is a Blade Runner sequel because Ridley Scott will be the director. And the original screenplay was written by the original screenplay writer of Blade Runner, the original one, but it's being reprised again. Or not reprised, it's being rewritten again by another writer. So hopefully it'll be good. So fingers crossed. Sorry.
What about you, Kelsey?
Oh, I'm waiting for Wonder Woman movies.
Yeah.
I'm not too thrilled by the casting of the one that's happening. I'm not going to get into that, but I just want them to keep making more and more Wonder Woman movies until they hit one that I like. So that's what I'm craving.
I double agree with that.
I can get behind that too.
Yeah.
Michael Franco, you got one?
Well, I'll quadruple agree to the Wonder Woman film. I crush on Linda Carter when I was little, so I'd like to see that reprised. And speaking of Chris Pratt, there's these rumors of or maybe confirmation that there's a new Knight Rider movie coming out. So I was kind of a Knight Rider fan. I like that man in his car against the world kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. Stephen Beecham, you have any suggestions?
We saw a little preview of it in that HBO show. Why is it escaping my mind right now? But I'm interested in Aquaman.
Ooh.
I heard some rumor about Aquaman
Daring
recently.
choice.
Yeah, what was the show with all the guys?
Wasn't the guy from Supernatural, Jared Jensen?
No, they had the HBO show as a bunch of dudes,
guys.
and they're in the movie industry. I don't know why I'm forgetting it right now.
Entourage?
Yeah, he was
right.
Aquaman in Entourage.
There was actually a pretty stable rumor when that storyline on Entourage was happening that actually was going to happen because so many fans of Entourage were also Aquaman fans. So
that's the overlap.
I mean, never say never. If it's not a movie, it could end up as a TV show like The Flash.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather it be a movie. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
There
think
was
it's
an
in the show
Aquaman
right now.
TV show. I think it only made 2 or 3 episodes before it got canceled.
Yeah.
It was the guy from I think he was on Smallville.
Was it CW that did it?
I think it was.
Yeah. We'll see.
Well, if they could do a good one, do it right, it would be awesome.
I agree.
On the movie screen, you could get really with that budget, you could get good underwater stuff.
Yeah.
Important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with that. What about you, Eric? What do you say?
So I'm gonna go dark and topical and current. I think it's time to do 1984 again, and because I think it would be, I think
it's
scary.
a little past time.
No,
you
should do it.
30 years.
2084.
I think that what's scary is it might not even seem like sci-fi. So
it might just be the NBC Nightly News or CBS Nightly News.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. That's one of my favorite movies, and I would love to see something like that. But it's hard to redo a movie like that when it's past and it was supposed to be futuristic. You never know what fans and sci-fi people are going to say to that. But I would love to see that. It's got one of my favorite soundtracks by the Eurythmics, so I was always a big fan of 1984.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be 2084, or it could be like an alternate universe Game of Thrones.
I don't know. I mean, Blade Runner was set in 2019, and we're coming on that pretty quickly. And I don't have a hover car yet. I don't know about you. But...
I like the idea of retro sci-fi though. Like we have terms for steampunk, which is awesome. Everybody loves that. Obviously, 1950s style retro look. What would the term be for 1980s style sci-fi?
Right. Leg warmer retro.
Future. New romantics.
Oh, I like that.
Eurythmics.
Yeah,
sci-fi.
futuristic new romantic.
Yeah.
Or retro romantic?
I don't know. I don't know. Something to think about.
Something to think about. I feel like IO9's probably talked about this ad nauseum because I know that Charlie Jane cares about 1984 as well. And I have other writer friends at CNET also who love that kind of concept of retro future.
Yeah.
So I would love to see something
Bioshock.
like that.
That's what I was trying
Somebody
to
call Kraftwerk. Call Kraftwerk now.
I don't know. Do we need a sequel to Sky Captain? I think so. Sorry, crickets.
No. I saw that movie. I had just drunk a great deal, and I don't honestly.
That's how you see it. That's how you see it. I don't know. I love Rocketeer type movies.
Jeff wants to know. Jeff Sparkman, clever username on Twitter. Where's the greatest American hero movie? Huh?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Who most looks like William Katz right now? I don't know. I think we should take that to Twitter. If you want an America's Greatest Hero, who would you have cast in that? I don't know. See, these are the things that sci-fi fans get together and we get drunk and talk about how we would cast.
Although
every
we are
single
completely
sequel.
sober right now.
We really are. That's the sad part. But yeah, no, I feel like that's, I don't know. And it's the same thing with Godzilla. Everyone says, well, now that there's going to be a sequel, because I think, did we already cover that in CNET today? That there's a sequel coming? There's supposed to be a sequel.
Is that our
for
fade
Godzilla?
out music?
For
Yeah.
Godzilla? Oh, yeah, totally.
Maybe we
it.
can merge Godzilla sequel with America's Greatest Hero. I'd watch that.
And he says the 80s retro future look should be called Xanadoom.
Oh,
Look at the
Xanadoom.
Doom.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Steven,
I
you're
like it.
awesome.
Look at the quality of this.
Where did you even find that? We weren't
Wow.
even we weren't planning to talk about
And
this,
just
guys.
so you
Steven's just a
know,
rock star.
that actor auditioned to play Luke Skywalker. So if Mark
Really?
Hamill had not, that would have been our Luke.
I like Mark. Or Mr. Hamill.
Well,
as I
Terry
call him.
Nunn would have been Princess Leia if Carrie Fisher hadn't come along. So that could have been an interesting Berlin video.
I have to look that up. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Her.
I could go all day
All
with
right.
that.
On that note,
On that note.
that may wrap up the CraveCast. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. And be sure to tweet ideas for future CraveCasts to @Crave, and also let us know what movies we missed and how we're going to do vintage sci-fi retro for the 80s.
And sleazy superheroes.
And Xanadoom.
Xanadoom.
Which is
Xanadoom
like
was
80s,
born
80s
today.
dystopia.
Yes.
Yeah.
AKA the 80s.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and always check in at cnet.com/crave for the latest in your geeky universe, and we'll be planning another one of these for June. In the meantime, I guess it's time to go check out Godzilla, X-Men this weekend. For Bonnie Burton, Stephen Beecham, Kelsey Adams, and Michael Franco, I'm Eric Mack, and we'll see you next time.